as the executive director of the organization, I've been doing this for a long time and we've had a lot of facilitators come in. But what Tom did is he really engaged the board in meaningful conversation as to things they could actually do moving forward, prioritizing what next steps could be. It wasn't overwhelming for them. It was a lot of great ideas that they could put into actual practice right away. I had very high expectations of Tom based on his reputation and people that I'd spoken to in the community already who had been through this type of thing. And Tom met or exceeded all of those expectations. The energy in the room was fantastic. People really didn't want to leave. In fact, I had a board member that started this morning telling me, I have to leave at noon, I have something very important, and she actually stayed until almost the end of the entire day. I got a lot of very positive feedback from the board. I think that they weren't sure what it was going to be today, that they were maybe going to come in and sit and have somebody lecture them about how they could be a better board, or even potentially make them feel negative, like, gee, I haven't been doing such a good job, or gee, I've really been slacking. And Tom's approach is to meet people where they are and say, listen, you're here because you're committed and you love this. How do we take it to that next level? So nobody felt they weren't doing enough before, but they just felt inspired now to move on and to really bring more to each of their roles. You need to hire Tom to do this type of work, because for years I have carried the weight on my shoulders as the exec. Why can't I engage my board more? What am I doing wrong as an exec that I have really an under-engaged board? And what I learned from Tom and what the board learned was that it's the board that has to create the culture that they want to live within. It's the board that has to hold themselves accountable to find those ways of engagement. And of course, I'm here to assist and be a partner, but they are very smart, engaged people. They need to take it on. It's not only my role, it's a partnership.
Tom's style at this meeting was very personable, very relaxed, very just congenial, and included all the people on the board and encouraging everybody to express their thoughts and opinions. Today's presentation from Tom made me as a board chair think a little bit more about what my role is, what my strengths are with regard to that role, areas that I need to improve, and as far as the other board members, I think it made us think about what being a board member really means and how each individual can bring more besides just attending board meetings. It's one thing to be on a board, and it's another thing to be an effective board member, and Tom's materials teach you how to go to a different level, not just to be a participant on paper, but how to be an active and effective member of a board. It makes a huge difference.
What was so great about the way Tom presented and spoke, he was so engaging. He's a delightful individual with a wealth of background and knowledge. I think what I think back and appreciate most about the day, as the day went on, it got deeper and better. Instead of it tailing off and getting slow, it got energized with more information. Before coming, my expectation was somewhat low. I'm not a real fan of seminars of this type, but there were so many morsels, so many bits of information, so much experience downloaded from Tom to me and the others that it made the day extremely worthwhile. I think if someone asked me why you should hire Tom for a retreat such as he gives, it's the fact that the end result was so meaningful and impactful. He's very engaging, he's very personable, very experienced, and you leave with a lot of information.
I thought Tom was really engaging. I thought he was very motivating and with some specific details. So I think that was really helpful, so that we can incorporate it directly into what our board goals will be. And he made it kind of customed to our particular organization and board, which I think is really important. Tom really didn't talk at us. I felt he was sort of having a conversation, and he allowed us to be interactive along with guidance. And so I think that was really different, rather than kind of canned speeches or just more motivating presence style. I felt that it was something relevant that we can actually bring back with us and use for our future. I think basically Tom helped incorporate all the different facets of what it would mean to really move a nonprofit board forward, with specific examples for individuals, board culture, and ways we can achieve and focus on, including the typical things like fundraising, but in a more advantageous way of things that people are more comfortable with. Well, I think Tom really got to know us as an organization first and did a lot of background, education and knowledge for himself in order to customize it and make it beneficial for our group. He was very engaging, very motivating, and I felt that Tom really can move us forward into the next chapter for our board and making it a really proactive and positive and engaging experience for all of members.